It is more important than ever if you are looking to purchase a condo in the state of Florida this year that you understand that there are 2 new laws coming into effect by the end of the year that you need to be aware of. And we're going to dive into what those are coming up next. So as a realtor, I sell a ton of investment property, and I actually own investment property myself, including a condo, and I have some single family homes that I have as investment as well. And I feel like, it's just becoming increasingly harder to get a solid return on your investment these days. And that's partially driven by the interest rates that changed in June of 2022. Oh my gosh, it's been a year and a half ago since those changed, right? So 2022 is when those changed. And that all of a sudden made ability to purchase not only for, if your primary homes, but investment properties more challenging if you're financing, because you weren't gonna, make as much return on your investment as you would have made previously. So that's a change that took place in 2022, and a lot of people focused on that, rightfully so. But at the same time, behind the scenes, what people didn't know was going on is some new legislation that came out in June of 2022 as well to address the horrible collapse of the condo building in Surfside, Florida that happened in 2021. So there was some legislation that came out in 2022, and the reason I think people didn't focus on it as much as they should have at that time is because it wasn't going to become law until December 2024, okay? So what that meant is people were just focusing on what's in front of them, which was the interest rate at that time. Then we rolled into 2023, and it came all about insurance. Insurance increases in Florida, in other parts of the country as well. And so what that meant for investment purchases is that not only did your interior insurance, what you pay, went up a little bit, but the master policy on these big condo buildings went up substantially in some cases. And then your HOA fees went up with that. So it depended on which building, kind of where they were before with it. So some had moderate increases of maybe $50 a month. Some had several hundred. And in a few cases, some HOAs actually doubled. So that obviously had a big impact financially if you're looking to have a return on your investment. So now fast forward into this year, and we've got these 2 new laws that are out there, and they actually, are fully in effect the end of this year. And I've been focusing on these for quite a while, actually, with my clients, because I knew they were there. I knew that they were coming. And so I've been making sure that more than ever, when I have clients buying an investment property, that they're doing an extreme amount of due diligence as much as they can. Now, no one can have a crystal ball and anticipate what's going to happen in the future, but having access to, look at all the financials of a building and have conversations with the HOA and try to get some more understanding. So what are the 2 new laws? One is called the Milestone Inspection Report, and that is a structural engineering inspection that happens on every condo building that is over 3 stories high and is 25 years old or older. Okay, so if you think about us, we've got condos stretching down, miles and miles worth of beach, and we've got a different variety of ages on those condos. So if they fall into that category, that milestone inspection report has to get done. And there's 2 different phases to it. If you do well in the first phase, you don't have to go to the second phase, but you have to redo it every 10 years. So what does that mean to potential investors? That means that there's costs now associated with completing the structural inspections, and then based on the recommendations, if there's any repairs that need to be made to the buildings, then the question is, where does that money come from to make those repairs, right? Now, I've done deep dives on HOA fees and what those include and everything. I'm going to post them right here for you so you can get a little bit more understanding. But this is something that's going to be very impactful to anything that's a condo, and especially in Florida. The other thing is called a structural integrity reserve study, SIRS. Okay, and that is for all condos, okay? So it's not age of the condo, it's all condos. And what that law says is that by the end of this year, all reserve accounts have to be 100% funded. Okay, so when you pay an HOA fee, let's say your HOA fee is for a 2-bedroom Gulf front like condo like I'm in now is about $800 a month. A percentage of that's put aside into a reserve account, all right? And that reserve account is there to help maintain all the components in the building, take care of all the needed maintenance, because every single component of a condo building, from the elevators to the pool to the roads that have to get repaved, parking spots, all that, all have life milestones in them and costs associated with them. So that's built into where like there's enough in the budget to take care of that maintenance as it goes on. But now that reserve has to be 100% funded. So again, it depends on what the building is, where they're at with that. Some are 100% already funded, which is fantastic. They're ahead of the curve. Some are 60 to 70%. And unfortunately, there's a couple of buildings out here on the beach that have for years chosen to defund their reserve account, meaning anything goes wrong outside of general maintenance on the building, it comes directly back to the owners of that condo to help pay for. So these are two things that are really important. Now, when you go into contract for a condo, you're gonna get all the different type of documents to look over. You're gonna look at the P&L statements, the budget for the current year. You're gonna get to see rules and regulations and asking the questions, have these two, has the reserve study been done? Has the milestone inspection been completed? Again, depending on the age of the building, milestone may or may not have been, but getting a hold of those documents to take a look and if they exist. So I just need people to be aware of these couple things, and I'm very cognizant of myself because I'm going to do my best to help you research that, get the information that you need so you can make a good decision going forward. Asking those questions are just more critical these days than they were a couple years ago. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you got some valuable information on it. I've added some other playlists throughout that you can go back and reference for expensive condos and return on investment in general. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd appreciate it if you did that now and hit the little like button and comment as well. Have a wonderful day from Panama City Beach, Florida. Bye.